Let's build a gaming PC. If you've ever been interested in building a PC, this will kind of give you a heads up on how difficult it is, and you can decide whether you want to build it yourself. The first and easiest thing to install, in my opinion, is the RAM. All you have to do is line up the missing tooth with the tooth on the motherboard, and then you just press it in. It's quite simple, just make sure you unlock the actual slots. This is one of the only parts you kind of have to force in there and hear a click, and there it is. Then just rinse and repeat for the second stick. And there, you've installed your RAM. Next, we're going to install the CPU. You kind of have to be delicate because you can damage pins on the motherboard, or depending on the CPU, you can damage the pins. But just make sure you're careful and you'll do just fine. So we just drop this guy in there, and we place this back down and lock up our CPU socket, and now you've installed your CPU. Next, we're going to install our SSD. This is an AGI SSD that has a built-in heatsink. So we're just going to drop this in, and you'll notice there's a tooth right here, and it's just going to line up with the SSD. And now we can install it. Whenever installing something with tiny screws and tiny threads, you want to turn counterclockwise first, hear a click, and then you can install. This will make sure you don't cross-thread any screws. If you turn this counterclockwise, you'll hear a click, and that's going to let you know that you're not going to cross-thread, and then we can screw this guy in and fasten our SSD. This AIO from Tecumseh has built-in hardware, so we can remove the previous hardware that's on the motherboard. Before you install your cooler, you're going to need thermal paste, and the reason you install thermal paste is there's lots of little gaps between the two pieces of metal, and you want to fill that with thermally conductive paste. We're going to make an X pattern with the thermal paste, and that way we have coverage on all of the CPU. Whenever installing a cooler of any kind, you want to make sure that you install the screws kind of simultaneously. You're going to do a little bit on each of them at a time, that way you make sure it lies flat and you don't have any air pockets. Now we can install the GPU, and just like most parts, you're going to have a missing tooth, and we can just correspond that with the motherboard and plug this guy in. Next, we can plug in all the power cables for the CPU, motherboard, and GPU, and we can do a test boot. Since this is not installed in the case, we can actually jump the little power connector and turn on the PC. Now that we're done checking out the PC, we have a complete boot, so we know all the parts are working. Now we can install it into a case.